Where are the best beaches in the country? Is Manila any fun? Why do we put ice on cold beer? Time to answer those kinds of questions. Done in Philippine English, we dive into the quirks and what works in Philippine travel. This is Tropik Banter.
Thanks, Kim, and welcome to Tropik Banter. My name is Bryan Ocampo, and with me today are my two colleagues from the tourism industry. I'm introducing you to tour guide extraordinaire Rupert Andres, and with him is Marcos, the product development associate of Intas. So, guys, welcome to Tropik Banter.
Thank you.
The title of the episode is "What's Up Beaches." So, we're going to talk about nothing else but beach in the Philippines.
Yes.
Where do you think can you find the best beaches in the world? I'll start with Rupert.
When you say beaches, it's Palawan. It's the home of the best islands. And we know already whether it's El Nido, Port Barton, or Coron, we know that they have almost, one of the best islands or beaches in the world, Condé Nast Traveler, Beautiful Destinations, Travel and Leisure, these kinds of magazines and other social media platforms, they're always highlighting Palawan as the best islands. But for me, Palawan indeed is one of the best, in the Philippines.
Marcos?
I would have to agree with Sir Rupert's opinion on the best beaches that we have, especially as Palawan is not just one island, There's numerous islands to Palawan that has very amazing, pristine, remote, if you can say remote, that's kind of untouched. I think that would better describe some of the beaches that they have compared to islands of beaches that we have, such as Boracay. Very well known. I mean, they have a really nice beach, but again, in terms of being pristine, very pure beach in terms of the sand, the water. I think everything is very I think you can have it all in a sense in Palawan.
Right. Actually, you mentioned earlier that we have like lots of islands. The last time I counted 7,641.
Yes.
It's not really easy to go around. So since you mentioned
That's true.
Palawan, how do you get to Palawan?
The main point will be you're coming from Manila,
Right.
and then you could take an hour flight max or an hour 15 minutes flight from Manila to Puerto Princesa. That's the capital of Palawan, southern, maybe a little bit of the middle part of the Palawan region. And then you could travel to the north by taking a van that will take you 5 to 6 hours with stops along the way and head straight to El Nido. Well, El Nido is the northern point of the whole Palawan. But there's more islands on the north. We have Linapakan Islands, which is 2 hours boat ride away from El Nido. And then if you give another 5 hours boat ride, you will be heading straight to Coron Island, which is also one of the best islands in the Palawan region. We have direct flights also from Manila. You could use Air Swift. We have them. It's only like 40 minutes flight from Manila. And yeah, you will be basically landing in El Nido already, and you're in the paradise.
You mentioned like El Nido, no? So what exactly can you expect when you get to El Nido, Marcos?
In El Nido, since El Nido is in the north part of Palawan, the end part of the main island of Palawan, so there's numerous beaches that surrounds the kind of the area of El Nido. So there's beaches such as Nakpan Beach, and then in most of the beaches there's also boutique hotels. They're 4-star hotels, but not much. More on boutique hotels, since El Nido is still kind of a province, in the sense that even though it's a tourist attraction, it's still a province for most of the locals in Palawan.
Marcus is right. You have the options. So, for example, if you're going to go for the island hopping, they have 4 tours that are available or being offered in
So
El
this
Nido.
is in the El Nido or Bakwit archipelago.
This is in Bakwit Bay,
Bakwit Bay,
and El
okay.
Nido Island. We call it El Nido Islands.
Okay.
Okay. Tour A, Tour B, Tour C, and Tour D. So each tours have like 5 destinations. They separate the lagoons from different tours. So, for example, in Tour A, you're going to visit the Big Lagoon, which is one of the highlights of the El Nido. You know.
What do you do in the Big Lagoon?
Okay, in the Big Lagoon, it's a wide opening space. Of course, it's a lagoon. The water is so clear. It's pristine. You know. The one thing I hate about the Big Lagoon is there's a lot of people when you visit it because it's the highlight. You know, it's only like Tour A. That's why it's in Tour A.
So how do you go around it if you're with a group?
Okay, if you book a tour early in the next morning, you will be going for the island hopping. There's a designated spot wherein the tour agency or the tour guide will be going to gather you around. And then you're going to hop onto the boat. From the boat, you'll be needing to travel. If you're going to go straight to the Big Lagoon, it will take you 30 to 35 minutes. By speedboat, it could be like 10 to 15 minutes you'll be there. Usually, the Big Lagoon is the first destination of Tour A as it gets crowded in the afternoon. Lunchtime onwards, expect there will be like more than 10 boats in the area. Speaking wise, with the activity that you could do in the Big Lagoon, you know, you could swim from the boat when it's high tide, you know, but when it's low tide, you need to use the kayak. You need to rent a kayak.
Why do you need the kayak?
Okay, you need the kayak because there are a lot of house reef, or it's actually very shallow. You know, you could hurt yourself. You know, good thing our board operators and tour guides are well knowledge about giving first aid kit because I've seen a lot of people getting cuts, scrapes. You know, and corals of different kinds of bacteria. You know, they have more than thousands of bacteria, and you can definitely, you know, if you have cut yourself, you know, maybe Brian, you have experienced it as well. You know, it took us like a month or 2 months to heal. You know. Corals have different kinds of bacteria. So whenever we are doing a tours in these places, we do our safety briefing, and before we ask them to go down to the boat, of course, we tell them the best option what to do. You know, if the water is high, you know, we may allow them to swim, but it depends on the current, you know, or the water condition. And when it's low tide, of course, the best option to do is to use the kayak. And then if you kayak yourselves, you're entering a big space of a lagoon. You know, it's pretty wide. The rock formations are amazing.
So these are like limestone.
These are like karst rock formations, and we believe that millions of years ago, that the whole El Nido or the whole Palawan section is submerged in the ocean. You know, and throughout the years, it emerged. You know, it goes up, and these dramatic rock formations in El Nido gives, you know, the best maybe attraction of the islands. You know, and the Big Lagoon has one of the most, you know, nicest rock formations. Well, not the best, but it's beautiful, you know. And once you made your way inside the Big Lagoon, you could go down from your kayak. There's a swimmable area, you know, at the back portion that's pretty deep. You know, if you're a good swimmer, you know, guides may be allowing you to swim around from the area. Usually it will take you only like 20 to 35 minutes, you know, and you don't want to stay there when there's a lot of people already. And then you go to the next destination.
Aside from kayaking, what else can you do in El Nido when you do the island hopping, Marcos?
With the Big Lagoon that Rupert mentioned, for Tour A, for other tours, there's a lot of snorkeling.
Okay, so let's talk about snorkeling. Okay,
course,
so do you snorkel?
I can snorkel.
Okay, so do you enjoy it?
Yes, for most of the time.
Most of the time. Long pause there.
Yeah, for most of the time.
Why? Why would they long pause? Like,
for me,
yeah,
I'm not really that good of a swimmer.
All right.
But I can swim.
But did you enjoy the experience even though?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so could you tell our listeners what did you see in the, like, when you were snorkeling? Okay, obviously fish, but you know, maybe you can remember some of them and tell, you know, our listeners.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The most memorable one was when I snorkeled in Port Barton.
Yes.
This is another place. This is not El Nido, Port Barton.
No, Port Barton.
Port Barton.
It's in the middle of Puerto Princesa and El Nido.
All right.
So it's right in the middle of Palawan.
Okay.
And then in their island hopping, they have a snorkeling spot. I think it's Shallow Reef or
Shallow Reef.
Snorkeling spot. When I snorkeled there, you could just reach your hand out, then you could touch the corals. So it's that
Did you
shallow.
touch the coral?
No, I didn't touch the corals.
You did bad. Did you
No,
touch the
I
coral?
didn't touch the corals. So that's how shallow it was and how
Yeah.
clear the water was.
Yeah.
Was really nice. Yeah. So you could see the famous Finding Nemo.
Oh, you saw
Yeah.
clownfish, okay.
Yes. The clownfish. Really the most dramatic color of fishes that you can see is you can find it in Palawan.
Actually, I just want to add,
Go, go.
some
Yeah.
of the information.
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
We went for a 10-day validation trip with Marcus,
So,
last month.
what a hard job, no? 10 days, huh? Wow, so hard. Okay, so what did you do the validation trip,
Yeah,
Rupert?
I remember Marcus
Yeah.
did mention about the shallow reef in Port Barton. It's so damn beautiful, I remember
Okay,
I was
how is it beautiful
Okay.
like, compared to the others that you've seen?
Marcus was snorkeling from the area, and I was like flying my drone. I told Marcus I'm going to take a video and a picture because it's low tide. You can see the corals.
Yep.
The tide is not enough to make it choppy. The condition of the water. So fly my drone. So Marcus is taking a snorkeling with our local guide, and you can see literally the corals is alive.
Like it's like, hello,
They're talking. No, just joking. But the colors are amazing. You see these big corals like you can see National Geographic. Yes, the table tang coral reef.
Yeah.
They have those kinds of reef. The fishes are there. Like small tunas or what we call like yellowfin. Yellowfin tunas are like jumping from the ocean, because they're there.
There's
You know,
also-
when the corals.
yellowfin, like it's like the water's like boiling. There's a lot of movement underneath.
Yes. They were hunting these small sardines, They were in the area. And you know that there are fishes when the coral is alive. So I was like flying my drone, I'm hoping we could project it on the video.
Oh, well, so maybe in the we'll show that. Yeah.
Okay, you can see it right now. This is Marcus right here. He was like snorkeling with our local guide, and as you could see, the color of the water, it's blue, and the corals is amazing. So I think Marcus was like doing a snorkeling for 20 minutes, solid 20 minutes, and I remember that. That's actually a good spot.
I have a question now, since you are not really like a confident swimmer, so there might be some listeners who aren't also confident swimmers. So how were the people there helped you in snorkeling?
Yeah. First off, I think for all island hopping activities that we do here in the Philippines, we would always provide life vests. That's like very the
SOP.
standard
Protocol,
protocol. So life vests, and then you could also request. I think if you saw the video, you would also have the buoy.
Buoy,
like
yeah.
buoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in Baywatch, no? Like
But the buoy, but the buoy was just for the video, so that you could see the. I think,
we'll show that video in a bit, no? But
just to
Alright.
show the contrast of the buoy,
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
So wait a minute now. So we went to El Nido, then we went to Port Barton. Going back to El Nido again, no? So there's El Nido town, and I understand that there are also island resorts. Since you mentioned there are like
There
islands,
is,
no? So
there is.
I also heard that El Nido caters to like a wide range of budget from like luxury to
Yeah.
backpackers. Could you tell us first about backpackers before we know like the progression from backpacker to mid to like luxury?
Okay. When you're backpacking, to El Nido town, it will be the place for you. There are a lot of hostels from the area. You need to budget like 500 pesos. That will be an equivalent of $10, $10 to $12. A night.
Maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less, and then you have like a bunk bed already. But if you budget yourself like maybe like $12 to $15 per night, you could have your own private room already, And most of the couples like backpacking, they're like staying that one, or you could use your Airbnb, and you could easily find some amazing villas with stunning views of El Nido backdrop, from the town area, Mid-range, we have a lot of boutique resorts from the area as well. Can we name some?
Yeah,
few
please.
resorts?
Yeah. So that again, we're not being supported by these properties.
Yeah.
We're just sharing what we've seen in the field, so to help out people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
When you're in El Nido town, you might want to check for hostel. Okay, happiness, because they're happy people. You know? It's okay.
All right.
What else? There's new one. Friends.
Friends, yeah.
It's also a
yeah,
happy
I think
place.
so.
Friends, when you love to party, drink, sunset, you could go to Friends. Spin is a
Yeah.
good option as well. They're very quiet.
Quiet.
They're located in the road, very accessible. Especially if you have your scooter or mopeds, they have like wide parking space. But for a proper hotel in the town, we have Kuna. Kuna Hotel. They're basically in the heart of Serena Street, or sorry, from the other street of El Nido's town area. All of the restaurants is from the area. S Resort, H Hotel, the vegan hotel, they are there as well. But if you want it a little bit far, you want to be secluded away from the business of the town.
From the outskirts.
From the outskirts, you might want to check, the Leo area.
Leo area.
Leo area. There we have like Isla Amara.
But it's already mid, right?
This is mid
Mid
budget, but not very very expensive, but
It's just right.
it's just right, and you get what you pay for. You have your beach, you have a beautiful sunset view.
So
Isla
just to
Amara.
create a distinction, so Leo is different from El Nido town.
Yes.
So Leo is like a 30-minute drive.
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes to
by tricycle. It's a
and
local transportation.
What is there? Like it's more secluded. It's more controlled.
Okay,
what's the
it's-
difference between the town and Leo?
Okay, we know that town is very busy. All
Very,
of the
yeah.
people are right there. It's loud.
Yeah.
Karaoke,
Yeah.
bars.
If you're into that, you will enjoy it, and also cheap food.
Yeah,
And
cheap food.
cheap
yeah.
and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap and good food.
Yeah.
Wide variety of
Yeah.
food.
And also, if you want to be seen and to meet other people, you go there because there's
Yeah.
also a party by the beach.
That's true. I'm not endorsing pangolin, but if you love to drink, you can go to pangolin.
I like Pangolin. Yeah, that's nice. There's also Sava.
Sava, yeah.
it's
Sava is
nice
also
too, yeah.
good bars, But again, we go back to Leo. That's like 20 minutes away. By tricycle, you pay like 150 pesos each. If you're like two, about 300 pesos. Leo has a beautiful beach. It's called Leo Beach.
Right.
The area is cultured because it's being, the owners is like one of the richest Filipino,
Yeah. Filipinos.
Filipino,
So it's a
in the
private,
Philippines.
something like a privately run place. No?
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
controlled. It has, it's more laid out properly. I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
a lot of walkways and
Restaurants will be there.
yeah.
You have a wide variety of restaurants
However,
as well.
they close at around 10 o'clock, right?
They close early.
And
I
like
think
in
last
town.
order will be like 9:15,
Oh man.
9:30. So if you want to continue drinking,
You go to town.
You go to town. But if you're like middle age and on a honeymoon, this is the place for you. The sunset is amazing. It goes down within Cadlao Island, which is one of the biggest island in El Nido. And the best thing about it is you're near the airport. The
Like how many minutes away?
That's like 5 minutes away.
Damn.
If you're going to walk with your suitcases, it will take you 10 minutes. So it's not bad. Leo is very quiet. But if you want to be really secluded, we have more. You go to Nakpan. This is already about like 35 minutes or 40 minutes away from the town
Nakpan is
itself.
like the Long Beach, no?
Nakpan has the Long Beach, yes. They have a hostel as well. We have high-end resorts as well, such as like Ancla. If you want to do like glamping style, the glamping resort is beautiful.
Yeah.
And the sunset as well.
I think in Nakpan also the sunset.
The sunset is also
spectacular,
beautiful, but you get the same whatever
Sun.
you see in same sun, yeah, but different view.
So we have like mid. We discuss about mid. It's in Lea Estates and also the other places. What if I have like a money's not an issue? Where would I go?
Okay, the rich people.
The rich
we
people,
love the
yeah.
rich people.
Yeah.
Okay, once they landed in El Nido, they go to a wharf, in Leo, and you hop onto your private speedboats. Speedboats. Yes. We have exclusive resorts in El Nido. We call them El Nido resorts. This is where businessmen, politicians, celebrities,
Mistresses.
mistresses, yes. you know, your chicks, you know,
Chicks,
if you
yeah,
wanted to
you-
go
you're
out,
good,
you know,
We're
forget
not
about
endorsing
the
that,
stress.
but, we go there anyway. We saw them. Anyway.
And you know, yeah, Pangulashan Resort.
Pangulashan,
That's the best.
best.
You know, maybe one of the best.
Yeah, maybe one of the best.
one
now.
of the best.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Kauaian Resort.
Mhm.
It's also our favorite.
CIR, yeah.
They're
Hawaiian Island Resort. Yeah.
Kauaian Island, beautiful,
Beautiful
people.
people, yeah.
The service is amazing.
Amazing.
5-star service. You know, 5-star service. I think Marcus have the experience as well to stay in Kauaian Resort, right?
Yes. Just to share a
Yeah, go.
little bit about Kauaian.
Sure.
The island itself is really breathtaking for you to.
Yeah.
Why?
Once you
Why?
arrive-
All right. Why? Okay, please.
Okay.
Describe it to us. Why? Why? That's a big word. A breathtaking.
Yes,
All right.
breathtaking. I think it would be best for me to explain first where we came from
Okay.
Yeah.
before going to Kauaian. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to start the conversation
Go
for
on.
Kauaian. So first, we started off at Port Barton.
Mhm.
So Port Barton, we're kind of going back a little bit.
Mm.
Mhm.
Port Barton is very underdeveloped. Is that
Mhm.
kind of the
Yeah,
They're,
go.
they're
Yeah.
raw.
They're raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
They're raw.
I think
Yeah.
Rupert mentioned before the best description for Port Barton is it is Coron 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of a good description for it.
Mhm.
So we stayed in a hostel, bunk bed type.
Mhm.
So
Tough
that's
life.
Tough life. Yeah. So, and then after that, we drove straight to El Nido, then hopped on a speedboat, being greeted by the Kauaian Island.
Mhm.
Staff.
No, the island.
The island itself. Okay.
Yeah, the island.
Okay.
And the sea was very calm because I think if
Smooth. Yeah.
When
it's
it-
yeah,
flat.
it's smooth.
You know?
Wait.
There
Which
is
month
no-
was it? Which month was this?
This was like last month, all right? Last month, August.
yeah, August.
August.
It was
Yeah,
August.
August. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So we went there. So our boat ride was very smooth.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It was I think right around late in the afternoon, maybe late or
Yeah.
early in the afternoon.
Like 2:30ish.
Yeah, 2:30ish.
Yeah, yeah.
So just the view of the Kauaian Island with the beach cottages that
Mhm.
they have
Mm-hmm.
would just kind of hit you in the face when you arrived and you're being greeted by very warm people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's
Exceptional
very
service.
Yeah.
Nice people.
nice people.
The okay.
But
They
you know,
have.
just to interrupt, no.
Mhm.
You guys were lucky, because when I visited, because there are like two ways. Because again,
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
conditions at sea. Because you were at the time when you went there, it was calm. No, when I
Yeah.
went
It
there,
was
it was
flat.
choppy,
Yeah.
and we had to go at the back.
Yeah, the back.
We've seen that
Oh
part.
God, like again, it really depends on which time of the year you come or if
Yeah.
you're lucky.
Yeah.
But weather is something that we wish we can control.
Yeah.
But like you guys were lucky that you were able to make that fabulous entrance. No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
to
see
the
hotel.
beachfront of
Yeah.
Kauaian.
Yeah.
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 I can
It was
imagine.
flat.
So yeah, so that's
I was like telling it to Marcus
yeah.
that when water gets choppy,
Yeah.
or the monsoon is like hitting from in the front of the
you guys are
resort,
lucky, yeah.
the main entrance will be at the back.
Yeah.
They have this hanging. Well, it's not hanging bridge. Well, it's like hanging jetty.
Yeah, there's a jetty.
It's like hanging
yeah,
jetty,
yeah.
and then they have like man-made buoys,
Buoys,
yeah.
big buoys that the speedboat will be docking there.
Mm.
You go down, and then you try to grab, try to grab that, jetty, the hanging jetty from the back, which is it's a little bit covered cove, from the back, so it's pretty safe. But when we came to Kauaian Resort last month, the water is flat, but from the back area, the area that you've like visited when you visited Kauaian, that is very rough.
Yeah.
So the monsoon was on the other side,
yeah.
So
It's a matter of luck, right?
exactly,
Bastards.
the good thing about Kauaian Resort, they're facing sunrise,
Mhm.
and at the back of the resort, you get to see the sunset,
Mm.
and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't like the hike, going into the sunset,
Yeah.
but
But it's nice that they have
It's
their own
worth it.
view deck,
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
worth it. It's like worth a walk.
it's worth a walk.
Yeah.
And nice people. Food is good too.
Food is
Let
good.
me get back to your work, your 10-day, so hard work. 10 days in the island. I hate it already. Okay, so Because I think you need to validate things on your
Yeah.
trip for a client, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think were the potential problems that clients or customers would have when visiting these places? Maybe I can start with you, Marcus, then
Yeah.
Rupert.
Yeah. Uh,
Top of mind, yeah.
top of mind would be in Port Barton.
Mm.
First problem would be transportation
Mm.
because of road condition, mostly.
Well, what's the situation of the
Uh,
road?
The road condition of Port Barton, I think it would be very, very bad. Best way to put it would be would
bad,
be,
huh?
Who's the mayor?
who's the mayor?
Where's the mayor?
You know, that's the problem because the road is not really paved.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
a rough road.
It's
very rough
yeah,
road.
It's rough.
It's not just rough road. There's like holes in the rough road.
potholes. Oh.
Yeah, potholes in the rough road.
Yeah.
So that's very rough.
All right. Windy?
Not much.
Mhm.
Just really the narrow roads.
Yeah.
Then a lot of potholes. So I think that's gonna be a problem.
Mhm.
Since
And
there-
the dogs.
oh the
Man, the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs.
Why-
Many
what happened?
dogs from
Many
Port Barton.
dogs.
You know?
Stray dogs, huh?
There are stray dogs. They're everywhere. I remember we went for a dinner when we walk outside from our hostel. We've been chased by 4 dogs. You know, there are many dogs from Port Barton. That's concern also from our guest. Yeah.
So aside from road conditions, what else do you think would be a problem for?
the other one that came to mind would be hotels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah. Since most properties that they do have their first stay would be hostels.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is only really one that we can recommend, which is Holiday Suites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Port Barton.
Good,
That's really
good hotel.
Holiday suites, huh?
Yeah. That's really kind of the only option that we have for hotel that we can recommend that
Why?
guests can
Why
stay.
are you recommending it? What is it? What does it have that the other hotels don't?
For Holiday Suites, it basically just it has the basic
Mhm.
basic in terms of being a hotel. You know, there's staff that
Yeah.
would really provide
That is available for
service.
24/7.
Yeah.
You know.
The bell service.
Yeah.
Because
Front desk, yeah.
for the other properties, they basically just have just rooms.
You know,
Yeah.
homestay.
Yeah.
Homestay. It's
Yeah,
kind of-
it's like
So again, you
It's
know,
like that.
what you told him earlier, 25, like it's like around
25
20 years
years
ago.
away.
So
Yeah.
it's the orientation's really like it's very laid back.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Mhm,
you
so-
know.
there are other properties that looks nice,
Mm.
but when you kind of look at what's inside, there's really no area there's no kitchen.
Mhm.
They would just have a dining area, so it's kind of really kind of like an Airbnb stay.
Mhm.
Yeah, like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
For-
common restaurants.
Yeah.
Just like basically room and front desk.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, going back to Holiday Suites, so they kind of have that 24/7 room service. You know,
Yeah.
not really sure if it's 24/7,
They're
but the
attentive,
staff
huh?
are attentive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they have breakfast. They
Mhm.
provide breakfast.
They have
For-
beach access as well.
They're also
Beach
Oh, they have a
access.
beachfront. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have beachfront. They're facing the Port Barton beach.
Yeah, the main Port Barton
the main
beach.
Port Barton beach.
Yeah.
Your 10-day
Mhm.
journey, what do you think would be potential problems for visitors when they visit these places?
I second Marcus for the logistics. You know, first thing we never saw police man or woman in Port Barton. Maybe the police presence. Many dogs from the area. No street lights as well, so it's kind of dark when you're like walking from the street. You know. But again, you know, these issues can easily be resolved, you know, once the peak season starts, and it's going to start next month, you know. Most of the restaurants when we were there last month was closed, as is they were in hibernation
Because
mode
it's
right
the
now.
lean season, right?
Because it's lean season, so there's no business. But according to our new, you know, suppliers or friends from Port Barton, you know, next month, you know, which is October, they're going to open again,
They're going to be
and
active,
everyone
huh?
is to be everyone will be like opening their business again. So I think it will be okay, you know. I never see clinics, They don't have like clinics. So if you have like small accident, like motorbike accidents or dog bites or whatever.
So what happens then? Where do you take the injured?
You need to drive 3 hours back to Puerto Princesa. Yes, that's the one of our friends told us that if something happens to you or you want to have like medical attention, the nearest will be the Puerto Princesa city.
Wow.
So you need to drive like 3 hours away, But people are very helpful in Port Barton. Again, they're raw, but it's like kind of this province type of, when you visit province, everyone is like smiling at you, like they're going to offer you some rice cakes or drinks or whatever. Maybe that's it.
All right.
What I think most of our concerns will be if they're in El Nido or in Coron or whatever.
Yep. In general.
Typhoon. If we have like incoming of typhoon, and they're trapped in the resort, So if we have like visitors staying on, for example, in Pangulasan or Lagan Resort or, these resorts, they're going to be worried. We will be receiving a lot of or tons of emails from them that if they're going to be safe, either or we could evacuate them, or we will be extending their stay at the resort to pass the typhoon, and we know that after the typhoon is going to pass, it's going to be calm. It's going to be beautiful again. I think that's it. Weather conditions. Sometimes that's our
So 10 days you went to Port Barton, El Nido, and
Coron.
Coron. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go.
We also went to San Rafael.
San Rafael.
Oh yeah, San Rafael.
All right. So how about let's talk about San Rafael because we've talked about El Nido and Port Barton lengthily.
Okay, San Rafael is 60 kilometers north of Puerto Princesa City. So it will take you like an hour 30 minutes. It's a laid back area if you're heading towards to El Nido. So if you wanted to rest, if you wanted to eat somewhere, you could find a lot of restaurants from the area. Again, when you travel from Puerto Princesa to El Nido, that's like 5 to 6 hours.
Wow.
And
It's a long drive, man.
It's a long drive, but the good thing about Palawan, they have a lot of stops. These van drives. They have a lot of restaurants. Maybe one of our favorites will be like the 67 Heaven Resort. Shout out to Gunnar and Tita Lydia. Their resort is amazing. We're using their resort for one of our adventure series.
They have a private beach, right?
Private beach, clean beach. They have a pool as well. Very cute pool
Sauna
from the garden.
also, yeah.
Sauna is amazing, according to Marcus. Yeah, sauna
I
is
did the
amazing.
sauna, huh?
Yeah. No, I didn't do it, but I've tried the sauna before in a 4 to 5 star resort. Then their sauna was bigger, and nicer.
You could have tried it. All right.
But the highlight from the resort will be the food.
The food.
And home cooked food. That Swedish chicken curry and that. What did he?
Gunnar is Swedish,
a
no?
lot.
So
Gunnar is a
he's
Swedish
married to
man.
Lydia, and
The
they run the resort.
value for money.
Yeah.
The value for money.
The value for money.
The sandwich is enormous.
It's
I
a
remember.
sandwich.
So I think Filipinos really make sure that you're overfed. No?
That's
so
true.
No complaints.
You know,
no
that's
complaints.
true. I think that's the love of Lydia. To the patrons or the visitors, or the love from us whenever we're like bringing people. But if we're bringing clients to 67 Heaven or to San Rafael, basically,
San Rafael,
we have some stops because along the way we're visiting the underground river. We know the underground river belongs to the Seven Wonders of Nature a few years ago. So we're staying in San Rafael to basically cut the traveling time from El Nido to Puerto Princesa. Either back and forth. The reason why we stopped there is we visit a tribe. It's called Batak tribe. One of the indigenous IPs from the Philippines.
Indigenous people. Okay.
Indigenous peoples of the Philippines. Yeah. We have the Olongoan Falls as well, which is beautiful, cute falls. Amazing scenery. And yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, going back to, because we're talking about beaches, so we went to San Rafael. How about Coron? Where is Coron and how do you reach Coron?
For Coron, there are a couple of ways that you can visit Coron. First off, you can do a direct flight from Manila. Then you can also take a flight from El Nido to Coron.
Yeah.
That's shorter, right?
That's 15 minutes. 20 minutes?
Around 20 minutes, yeah.
15, 20 minutes, yeah.
But again, that would mean you would be coming from either Puerto Princesa from a direct flight to Manila or from El Nido.
What kinds of planes are used when you're traveling in Palawan?
Okay, when you take these flights, we know that Palawan has, El Nido's like the shortest runway in the Philippines, maybe. They're using turbo propellers, these propeller aircrafts, 40, 50, 60, 70 seater flights. I remember Airstrip have like 60 seater, 50 seater. Manila Air, El Nido flights, the same as well in Coron as well. Basically in Siargao as well, because Del Carmen Airport is very small. Turboprops. They're using turbo propellers.
It's largely safe. I mean,
It
they
is
operate
safe.
safely,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It is safe, but you expect that when there's like clouds, the turbulence is going to
or
hit.
the wind is very strong.
The
no?
wind is very strong. I remember once when we are taking a flight from El Nido to Bohol, with my group at the time. We were delayed for 20 minutes because the wind is very strong, and it's what's tailwind at the time. So before our takeoff, you could hear the engines rumbling, preparing, and pilots is going to get off, and once we touch the sky, it's like it's like four by
Don't
four.
worry, guys. He's still here. Okay, he's still
But to be honest, one of my worst flights will be like from El Nido.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about flights. Okay.
Yeah, it's really bumpy out there.
Bumpy, no? Yeah.
The island, turbulence from the mountains, the air as well, especially if you're like landing, as soon as you touch down from El Nido, you feel the brakes of the pilot, like you hit your head in front of the seat, Again, one of the shortest runways in the Philippines, maybe. Yeah, El Nido has it. Yeah,
All right,
but
so
it's safe
yeah.
and quick flight.
All right. So beaches in Coron.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? Because I heard somewhere that Coron is like the twin of El Nido.
For me, kinda.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you point out the difference between the two places?
Okay.
Because they also have limestone there, limestone karst there.
Rock
They also-
formations.
rock formations there.
Okay.
too. Yeah.
El Nido has these scattered islands. They have a lot of islands. Islands, islets, sandbars. Scattered within the Bakwit Bay. When you go to Coron, you're basically from the Busuanga part. And when you say Coron Island, it's a one big island.
Oh.
It's a one big island that has like lagoons from the side, beaches on the left side parts, and there are indigenous people living in the island. We call them Tagbanwas, And these indigenous people, they have only opened some few spots, like
For-
Twin
for
Lagoon,
tourists, yeah.
Kayangan Lake, Barracuda Lake, these specific places. Because for them, other destinations or other lagoons is sacred.
Yeah, should be untouched. no?
It should be
That's
untouched.
good.
And
That's good.
no other people, if you're not Tagbanwa, you're not allowed there.
I agree
Even though
with you.
you're Cuyunon, even though you're from Palawan, you need to be Tagbanwa, to see these places. I was talking to our local guy. I forgot his name, but we call him Kulot, because he's
Curly
curly
hair.
hair,
Yeah.
He did mention that there are more than 10 lakes inside the Coron Island.
I wanted to see
And
that.
imagine that, because he has these maybe 20% Tagbanwa tribe from his family. That's why
He's allowed.
he's allowed and he's very confident to tell us these kinds of stories. And only few spots have been open, So
So it's true that the moniker of Palawan, that's the last frontier.
Yes, because of these people, the indigenous people, we call them water people, by the way.
I also observed that Coron is different in a way that it doesn't have a beach, unlike El Nido. It does have,
Yeah.
the town has a beach,
Yeah.
but if you go to the Coron town, I think it's more uphill.
It's more uphill,
Yeah.
There are no inland tours that you could do unless you visit the Makinit Hot Spring. But in terms of like El Nido, that you have Nakpan, Las Cabañas, or Leo Beach, Coron doesn't have it. You know, maybe you need to travel from the other side, you know, which is near in Black Island. But basically, it's just like land, you know, and the beaches is actually still located in Coron Island. You know, you need to get on on that boat. You need to travel like 20 minutes by boat to reach the Coron Island.
All right, so Palawan has been getting a lot of attention, but
Yeah,
we have 7,641 islands. So we have like limited time. I think we have like 30 minutes left. So aside from Palawan, which places do you think people should see?
Okay, aside from Palawan, we have Siargao,
Siargao.
which
Where?
is basically in the south, you know, a little
Mindanao.
bit Mindanao.
It's not safe?
It's safe.
It's safe. Okay.
When you go to Siargao, it's safe, you know. So Siargao is basically located on
Northeastern side.
northeastern side, you know, in that island, in that area. But Siargao is basically famous for surfing spots. You know, if you're really adventurous, you know, they have like the wake parks. Taku Island is amazing. You know, naked island.
Naked beach.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
so are
A
there
lot of
naked
naked
people
people.
there? No. Why is it called naked beach?
I think they call it naked beach because it's like nude. It's like
Uncovered,
plain.
uncovered.
It's uncovered. It's
Ah.
open. You know, it's free.
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to ask a question about that later. Now, so aside from Siargao, which places? No, I mentioned one. Boracay.
Boracay.
This is still
Good.
still like an old favorite. I'm sorry, no, it's an old favorite because well, it's really popular, but access to other islands have been very available. And no shade to Boracay. I like Boracay because of its sunset and it's like first time to really experience powdery white sand.
Oh,
That place
yes.
has it. And the sunset's beautiful there.
They're OGs. You know, when you
The
say
OG,
Boracay,
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a party beach for a time. Still like it, but for me, because we have a lot of other islands, it's not really my top favorite. But it's still always there. It's like reliable for me.
yeah. How about you, Brian? Like, what's your like top beach or other destinations aside from Palawan?
Well, my favorite would be Bohol.
Oh, yeah.
Bohol is
Bohol is good.
Yeah, Bohol, yeah, because of the island has almost everything now from attractions, heritage, beaches, the beach there. And I'm going to make a special mention here because I've been here to this place many times. Bohol Beach Club, the beach there's like
Number one.
Number one. Man.
They're underrated.
Oh man, like the
BBC.
BBC, not the other
Underrated.
BBC. This is a real BBC,
Real BBC,
Bohol
yeah.
Beach Club. That is so
Bohol
good.
Beach Club.
The sand is fine.
Oh yes.
Oh wow,
Yes.
and also like you can see the sunset on one side and the sunrise on the other side.
I think I'm going to be biased as well. They have the best beach.
They have the best beach here.
best beach in Bohol. BBC.
BBC and also
Yeah,
the service. The accommodations are quite simple for
Yeah,
me. Like
yeah.
I'm a man of simple needs, but it's not really you go there because
That's true.
of the whole thing, the whole package, even the food. I like
the people,
service.
the general manager.
Sir Alan, hey.
Sir Alan, yeah, shout
Yeah, by
out.
the way, no guys,
It's
again,
not paid.
It's not paid. We were just borrowing from our experiences. Why?
Yeah.
The beaches there also. Another thing that is very memorable to me in Bohol is that when we did an island hopping, when we went to one of those islands in Pamilacan, on the way we saw dolphins.
Oh yes.
So
the dolphin watching.
Dolphin
I think
watching.
that's morning, right?
In the morning, we had we left at around like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I've never seen that many dolphins. No, oh wow, it's like amazing. And also when we went to that island, aside from dolphins, we also saw sea turtles. No, the
Amazing.
green sea turtles like swimming around. They don't care. Like they're not aloof towards people. When they see people, it's fine.
I
like
think it's proven already. Like a lot of customers are asking us, whenever we're like running a series, do we get the chance to see turtles?
Yeah.
I'm not saying a promise in El Nido, but I tell them in Bohol,
you have a good chance.
good chance
Yeah,
in
good
Bohol.
chance.
Good chance in Bohol. I think Bohol has everything.
Has
You did
everything.
mention cultural.
Even the river system. We're talking about
Oh,
beaches,
yes.
but the Bohol has the one, because we're in the city, we're city people. The envy for city people like us in the Philippines would be clean rivers, and
That's true.
Bohol has
That's
a
true.
clean river. It's called Lobok River, and you can just do stand-up paddle boarding. You could also just swim and just enjoy.
Do you have like dangerous animals like in
Crocodile? No, just kidding. There's no crocodile. We have to tell people when we brief people to stand-up paddle boarding. No, there's no crocodile there.
Only monitor lizards.
And also
I've seen
monkeys.
monkeys,
Yeah.
yes, monkeys.
On paddleboard. Just kidding.
Shout out to Fox and Firefly, our friendly friends from there.
Again, we're not sponsored by these establishments, but these are the people who we work with because we believe that
And
they
you
will
can
take care of
check
our
them
guests.
out.
Yeah.
You can check them
check them out, guys. Yeah.
It's beautiful
Take our word for it.
resort.
This is really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from Bohol, the beach that I particularly enjoyed, I already mentioned Boracay. Man, we didn't mention, but I'd go back to Palawan. Sorry, guys, but because we go to Palawan a lot. I'd got to mention Ginto Island.
Oh, yes.
Because I've
Ginto
led
Island.
trips. You led trips there. And I think it's just really amazing going there because of the seclusion.
Mm-hmm.
You're off the grid for like 2 nights.
Yeah.
You sleep inside mesh-type tents.
Yeah.
You get served by a private chef.
That's true.
And you get serve alcohol,
Unlimited.
unlimited cocktails. They can serve it to you as early as 3 o'clock in the afternoon if you want. There's also a nice beachfront, and you can see the sunset in that place.
Yes.
And what I look forward to is not really the sunset, but the afterglow of the sunset.
The golden hour.
The golden hour,
Yes.
like the color just pops. It's like unreal. So, for me, I would say that's my favorite spot in the Philippines
Yes.
because it's just amazing. It's like you mentioned the word raw, and I would apply this also to this place because the labor is imported from the mainland of Palawan, but like you get a consistently good service. Aside from service, is actually the massage. You get like a good massage there.
Yes.
And also I think in this day and age that we're so much engrossed in our cell phones. I just like it because you're forced to talk to the person next to you.
That's true.
And you connect.
That's
a
true.
real connection. I mean, internet's fine, but sometimes you crave for that.
Yeah, like being away off grid.
and that tension is with one person
That's
only or
true.
2 person. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I have a question. Has there been any beach in the country where you think you can run naked?
I think you could do that in Ginto Island.
In Ginto Island?
Yes.
Oh,
you could do it either in front or at the other side of the beach,
There's one in Cagdanao or
Yeah, Cagdanao, which is also in Linapacan.
Okay.
5 maybe 10 minutes away from Ginto Island. It's also beautiful.
Yeah.
It's also powderish white sand.
White sand.
Maybe. Well, I love Ginto Island. It's
Yeah.
our home.
Yeah.
But the quality of sand of Cagdanao is just amazing.
It's like if it's like you step on it, you sink.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's soft,
yeah.
and the feel from your feet, from their sand.
By the way, to foreigners who've been to other beaches in the world, here, what I keep on hearing from travelers is that the water, they comment about the temperature of the water. They say the temperature was perfect.
Here?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, like they say
Only
that
the Philippines.
Like, they say that
Holy water.
Like the
Holy
water is like
water.
wow, the water is like sometimes it gets cold, yes, but that's what I always hear from them. Not always, but like a lot of times I get that.
I think, Marcus, you remember that one of our guy did mention about the change of temperature. You know what they called? You remember?
Yeah, like sometimes in the water you're swimming and it's warm.
And then becomes really cold.
And then it's warm because of you.
Because of your friend or your guy.
The guide or your companion.
No.
No,
To be honest, do you remember thermoclimate, something like that?
I'm not really sure.
But the instant change of temperature
There's
in
an
the water,
instant,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
you could feel it. Suddenly it's like warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're like snorkeling, you could feel other parts are really cold.
Maybe the guy in front of me.
Yeah.
dying?
That's why it's Palawan is heaven.
Oh man,
It's
again,
beautiful.
we have other islands. I need to put a big
Yeah.
disclaimer there.
Yeah.
All right, so aside from Siargao, aside from Palawan, aside from Bohol, which places do you think?
Okay, you want to
so-so?
hear underrated?
Yeah.
Okay, Pagudpud.
Pagudpod.
White
Pagudpod.
Beach, Saud.
Okay, so where's Pagudpod?
Okay, we're far now from the islands. Okay, these are all southern parts. We go north.
Okay, the biggest island,
The
no?
biggest island from
Luzon.
again, Philippines is like human. We go to the head.
Mm.
Northern point of Ilocos Norte region, Pagudpod. That's the last part of a town of Ilocos Norte before you cross to another region, to Cagayan. They have the White Beach right there. We're bringing some clients as well. The quality of sand is not as Palawan kinda sand, but it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
We know that the white sand is coming from corals for millions of years ago that they were being crushed. And there is a saying that it's authentic when you step on the white sand, even though it's like 12 o'clock or 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., it doesn't get hot. You believe me, guys? It's also the same in...
It's in Boracay that I heard that, and
Yeah.
it was true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
like,
at
it
12,
doesn't
3
get
o'clock in the
feel.
afternoon, it's like the high temperature, you don't feel it.
Yes.
Because
Have you been to La Union?
No, just to add to your
Yeah.
Pagudpod Beach,
Yeah.
I've actually been there.
Yeah.
So I think it's also best to mention that the travel time would be around from Manila.
Oh, yeah, from Manila.
Travel
Yeah,
time
yeah.
would be
land drive. Yeah.
How
You
many
can only
hours?
take a land drive. How many hours?
It's like 12 hours,
12
man. I think
hours.
it's a
12
long
hours.
drive, man.
12 hours.
That's why
It's a long
sometimes
drive.
I think sometimes it's a deal breaker to some. But if you have plenty of time, take that as cheaper. But
Yeah.
there are like flights
We
already
have
going
flights.
to.
Yeah, we have flights
to
to
Lawag,
Lawag.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
touch down to Lawag, okay, the flight from Manila to Lawag, it will cost, about 4,000 pesos in our money. The flight is about 40 minutes as well, 45 minutes. From Lawag, if you take that drive to the north to Pagudpod, it will take you like 1 hour 30 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour
Yeah,
30
I
minutes.
prefer
So
the flying.
not really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
you know?
Not bad, yeah.
And Ilocos is more of like historic,
Yeah.
older, kind of province. The Cape Bujidor,
Bujidor,
these
yeah.
kinds of places, but they're on the coast.
Coast.
Again, the places or the beach. Again, the Philippine archipelago is surrounded by huge coast.
Water.
Of body of water, and we don't like neighbors. We're the only country besides
It's like I call it the island world. Huh?
Yeah.
It's an island world.
we're like water people.
Like we have like our own. We have our own ways of doing things, so sometimes it's really confusing. Even me, it confuses me.
That's true.
You mentioned like in the north there is like a nice beach there. I think also in the south, like southern part of the big island, it's called in Batangas.
Oh yes.
So there's also like San Juan in Batangas.
San Juan,
yeah.
Lobo, maybe. Yeah.
Lobo, yeah.
Kalatagan. Kalatagan as well.
One of the things that I'd like to highlight to people, if you're looking for like real island or beach life, it's really
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And it also carries translates to also the people's perspective because it's really laid
true.
back.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is laid back, like you cannot expect people to be like fast to what you're liking because
Yeah.
maybe if you're from Europe or United Kingdom, you're used to things getting fast here. If you start like bugging people too much, they will deliberately slow it down. So don't do it, okay? Just be patient and smile.
Yeah.
And
Island
they will
time.
find a way to make it a pleasurable experience for you.
That's true. That's
All right, so top tips about like what to bring when you go to these islands. What's
Yeah.
the number one
Okay.
thing that people should bring?
Okay. If you're white. That's okay. Okay.
Hey, white.
I'm like telling it to
What's up, beaches? You're white. Yeah.
to the passengers, before they come to the Philippines. Sunblock, sunscreen.
Sunblock.
That's the most important thing. Okay, if you're very sensitive and you're lazy to put sunscreen, you need to have at least rash guards.
So what is a rash guard?
Okay.
Because I have to explain people what a rash guard is. Yeah.
Okay, these are like long sleeves that is for the water activities. They have UV built
It's just like
clothes
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
That's
It's like skin tight.
It's like
right?
skin tight, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even though you don't put some sunblock already or sunscreen, if you have these rash guards that have UV protection, you'll be safe. It's proven already that whenever we're like bringing clients, even though you put some sunscreen, you get to the water, right?
Mm.
And when you come up to the boat again, you need to replenish.
Yeah,
you need to
you
put
wear something,
another
yeah.
layer because it's been washed away by the ocean. And then a lot of our people or visitors doesn't reapply. What happens? They become lobster, you know. They become
Oh,
red.
man, you know, like they become red and like it's painful.
It
no?
is
Like it's just
painful.
like touching, like poking.
It's sunburn.
It's like
you know.
burned, yeah.
They actually what's the term for it? They didn't have the exact expectation of our sun in
You
Southeast
didn't know
Asia.
that it can get that harsh. no?
Yes, you could get skin cancer, but you know we're not getting it because we're like Filipinos.
Brown, baby, brown.
Brown,
Beautiful
people.
brown. Yeah.
But for them, you know, because they're not they have like sensitive skin. Top tip for me, you know, rash guards.
You know, I make jokes also with my visitors because they're white. And let's, you know, like it's here. Let's exchange. Now you come here to become brown. We go to your country to become white. Now, so because you color, you know, like you know, here if we have your color, we're like celebrities already. That's the case. Yeah.
You're white, you're good.
You're good.
If you're brown,
And again, this is a joke, because people who might be listening might get offended. No, we're just joking. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's a lighthearted joke. All right. Aside from sunblock, I think you might need to bring, for me, like you need to bring like a canister or like you have to rehydrate
Yeah.
all the time.
yeah.
So it goes with your sunscreen or sun
Exactly.
protection
Yeah.
because I think the number one enemy of people from the West would be dehydration.
That's true.
I've seen it in
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people, like
People fainted.
faint, yeah.
Day number 2, day
Oh,
number 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah.
They didn't know they were already dehydrating, so you have to take sips of water
That's
with
true.
your canister.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. In the briefing as well, if I'm like telling it, you people, if you're like drinking 7 glasses of water, double it here.
Yeah, you may need to drink more.
Because
yeah.
it's humid, and every time that when you go to the water as well, doing snorkeling or stuffs or kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding, you become thirsty, not
And
because
then they
of
give you Coca-Cola or beer.
cold Red Horse,
By
yeah.
the way, the Horse is like one of the top beers here. Oh
That's
man,
true. But actually, the
Yeah.
best one is actually coconut water.
yeah.
Coconut water from the islands.
Coconut water,
Yeah.
So, is that one thing that I also need to tell people is that you also need to bring like reef shoes.
Brief, very
Yeah,
important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah,
No, because
very
your feet,
important.
like your mobility. Like if you step on something and probably like because of leading trips, so one of the top fears I have is like me getting injured and my passengers getting injured. No? So like stepping on coral or possibly like the poisonous one, the crown of thorns.
Sea urchin.
Sure.
Not only sea urchin, but this is a crown of thorns. Like
They stick on the coral.
They eat the coral.
They
yeah.
eat the corals.
Yeah, and the parrotfish is the one that eats them.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't eat parrotfish. Yeah, don't eat parrotfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what one helpful reminder that I
That's
usually
true.
tell them. Yeah.
For me, I have one.
Mm.
Probably insect repellent.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that would be-
Good.
that's a good one.
With DEET or not with no DEET?
With what?
With DEET or no
DEET?
DEET?
Yeah.
What do you mean deep?
DEET is a brand or like a.
It is. Well,
It
there
has protection.
It
right?
has
Like
protection,
Oh, okay.
DEET.
but so much protection that it
Well-
could hurt, the beaches,
Yeah.
in the water.
Mm.
Yeah.
So no deep.
No DEET. Yeah.
No DEET.
No DEET.
I think because you mentioned about skin protection and insect bites, we have this nasty little. I'll use the word fucker. We call them the nick. Now these are sea lice or sea mites or
Sea lice,
gnats.
I think. Yeah.
Sea gnats.
Yeah.
But what they do is like they're so small you don't see it, but once it goes to you, like goes on top of your skin and starts biting,
Yeah.
it just itch. Like, it's very very itchy, like very annoying.
Itchy.
Itchy. It's just
Especially at night.
Yeah.
night. Like,
Especially at night. When you go to bed, when you're sleeping, you tend to
scratch it like a sort of a
It
reflex,
doesn't
no?
get healed. It don't heal.
It doesn't heal that fast. Like once it
Yeah.
gets healed, like for example, the tendency is like it becomes like a lump,
Yeah.
and then you poke it, and then it becomes a wound. And when it starts to recover, it becomes very itchy. You start scratching again.
And then you cut your
So-
fingers.
No, just kidding. But like there are ways to go around it. Again, you apply
Yeah.
DEET or like insect repellent just to get away from these
The second,
Yeah.
maybe the most effective is citronella.
citronella.
And
yeah.
it's organic and anything citronella that's really good. That's what I suggesting them, because it's very cheap here in the Philippines. Sunscreen is very expensive, in the islands. So if they can buy it, in their country before or before you visit in the Philippines. Please make sure you have tons of sunscreen.
Let's talk about sensitivities of people, because our listeners might be in places where it's okay to do certain things.
Yeah.
So I'll bring this forward now. In my first, visit in Boracay, which is like one of the top islands in the country, it was my first time to see a woman sunbathing topless. And as a 21-year-old man, it's like, what the hell? And wow. But we have to for visitors, you have to be very sensitive about these things, because you want people to stare, not only men but people to stare. You'll get that staring.
Yeah.
And it's my first time to see that, and it's a sense of wonder and and also whoa.
Yeah. I remember we were in Nakpan Beach.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember me? Yeah. We were in Nakpan Beach.
Tell the story.
Okay,
yes.
we were in Nakpan Beach at that time. We were watching the sunset.
Right.
Sunset,
Yeah,
right?
sunset. Yeah, sunset.
And
yeah.
I think there is
a group of Israelis, man.
a group of Israelis.
Yeah.
They get really excited, with our weather. They
sunset.
wanted,
Beautiful sunset. Beautiful sunset.
they wanted to achieve this beautiful brown skin, And we've seen a lady, topless.
Somebody's taking
Of
photo
course,
of her.
in a country full of Roman Catholics like me and Brian,
Very conservative.
very conservative. The woman just walked towards straight to us, and of course, me and Brian,
Yeah, I don't know.
Mama Mary,
So what I did, you know what I did? You know what I did? I smiled. And when I smiled, I covered. So I don't know what to do. I mean,
She instantly covered herself.
So I don't know. I think I'm offended. But again, on a serious note,
And then I remember Brian look at me like,
The smile changed.
I just smiled though, welcome to the Philippines. But again, on a serious note though,
yeah.
these are things you have to be conscious of, because people
That's
are
true. That's true.
largely conservative. I mean, we have Hollywood, we see TV and everything, but it's rare for us to see white people on the TV screen in front of us now.
Yeah.
With that,
Yeah.
I think in El Nido they passed an ordinance that you cannot just walk around in your
true.
bikini bottom.
That's true.
You
You're
have to
not
cover
allowed
yourself,
in El Nido town. Be careful, You're not allowed to wear with your bikinis when you're especially after your island hopping.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot of people are walking with their bikinis only.
Yeah.
So you need to cover yourself.
Yeah.
Put some t-shirt on,
Yeah.
even you don't have underpants.
Yeah, just cover.
Just t-shirt,
because,
that's
again,
okay.
you might, people will stare regardless. Okay.
Yeah. Although the locals are,
I think they're used to it.
they're
but,
used to it, but
there are still some people in our places who are really conservative.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
domestic travelers, maybe
yeah,
people
yeah.
from Manila,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the most memorable experience that you had in a Philippine beach?
Actually, I'm going to second you in Ginto Island. I
Ginto
think
Island,
the reason why it's called Ginto Island because it's just when it's golden hour, it's amazing. I'm telling it to my clients every time or visitors that Rupert, where's the best sunset you have seen? I'll be telling them honestly. Maybe I've seen the best sunsets in my life, but the one in Ginto Island, it's especially in the months of February and March and April. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It just the silhouette from the far island of the mainland of El Nido. It's just beautiful. Especially when the sun sets. The glow from the ocean, the water, and the clouds.
The clouds, actually, it's the clouds that you look.
Okay, here's the thing about good sunsets in the Philippines. If there are no clouds, it's boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if there is clouds, it's going to be amazing.
It's more dramatic.
You remember
It's
in
more
Port
dramatic.
Barton, we were having drinks in one of the bars in Port Barton, and it's cloudy. You know the clouds that that it has rained because it's dark. That clouds, and then suddenly the sun pops out from the thick clouds.
Yeah, it's more
It
dramatic.
goes down. You're going to see that picture. We're going to upload it right here. You're going to see it, and the sky went in. It's like Star Wars. Beautiful.
Beautiful,
Yeah. Have you watched the movie Waterworld?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. The last part.
I think
wherein
that's,
you've like seen an island already. You know, that's like Ginto Island. You know, of course they don't have like the sunset, but the amazing view, the clouds, the blue sky. Yeah.
For me, I'm not being biased, but I would have to third your motion for Ginto Island.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm
But
going to go with a different answer. Yeah.
But not. I mean, the sunset was really amazing, but for me, it was during the night when I was lying down on the beach. Then you could see maybe a million stars.
Oh
Oh God, yeah.
yes.
You have to mention that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Good
then
thing you
here,
mentioned that. Yeah,
I'm
good.
not kidding. Maybe I saw maybe at least 3 shooting stars when we were there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at
Very
least,
visible actually.
Yeah, at least 3.
yeah.
So that was kind of an experience that you would only really get in Ginto Island. So I think that's kind of what makes Ginto Island special. The combination of the sunset, the stars,
Yeah.
the service, the people, the rawness, if you could say. Yeah. So for me,
Wow.
that's on top of the list.
I'm going to
Yeah.
give a different answer because there's a thing that you're too biased towards Palawan. In my in one work I did now, we visited Mindanao. We went to this place called Jose Abad Santos. It's in the southeastern side of Mindanao. It's like you're really facing the Pacific Ocean, and it's really kind of far. It's hard to reach. The roads were really not developed and everything. You get to experience also like some sort of a thrill because it's very the roads are really bad. Okay, but once we got to the town, they have a nice beach there, and for 2 successive nights, I've witnessed not a sunset, but it's a friggin' moonrise, man. A moonrise.
Oh yes.
Moonrise, man.
Well,
Like,
Brian, you need to educate some of our listeners and viewers. You know,
wow.
because I've asked a
Yeah,
question right now.
moonrise,
You
man.
know,
It's a moonrise.
we have people who've never seen moonrise in their life.
Moonrise,
Yeah,
man.
I've never seen a moonrise.
So
Where were you, Marcus?
I don't know. Where's the moon?
Wow, like
Yeah.
the moonrise.
Yeah.
I only have like it's a new camera back then. It's an iPhone, so it's iPhone 13 Pro. So I already, but it really takes like really nice night shots, and we took like a lots of photos. And you
Yeah.
say about dramatic, that's also dramatic because you can also like play with the moon,
Yeah,
meaning to say
yeah.
like the moon is there. You can place your palm, and the moon is just like rising from your hand.
Or in your mouth.
Or like you do like if you watch Dragon Ball, you raise both hands and like the moon is in your palm. So for me, that was like kind of like wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I live in a country where we also get that too.
Yeah.
The thing about traveling around these places in the Philippines, it's like for us, the people in travel in the Philippines, we're given this privilege, to see how beautiful this country is.
That's
Because
true.
sometimes,
That's true.
I cannot blame people who weren't able to travel. If you're able to go out of the city, you'll understand what we have here.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I love about our job, because it kind of shields you from the negativity that you experience on everyday things like our politics and corruption and blah blah blah. But once you go out and you meet the people, you eat their food, you go and enjoy the atmosphere, especially the beaches. Oh, it's like a relief.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it soothes you, and then
That's
you go back to the city, and they need to go out again to believe again in
Yeah.
this place. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very blessed. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
very
that's the
blessed.
thing,
And
yeah.
we've seen, again, beautiful spots.
Yeah.
Everything is beautiful again. But it depends on the preferences of the people.
Yeah.
Because we have like clients. Most of the clients really love the Ginto Island part, but when they've seen Bohol,
Mm.
BBC Bohol Beach Club again. It's amazing. It's amazing. They're going to tell me in the farewell dinner, like of course, I'm like asking what's the best experience you have in the Philippines, or highlights or lowlights from the trip, and they'll keep mentioning about the beach in the BBC. As we're in Bohol. Palawan is amazing, but the beach right here is amazing. It's not facing directly sunset. It's from the other side, from the next by resort. But again, what makes it more beautiful vacation, it's also the people. Filipinos maybe very
In your
warm.
unbiased opinion.
Yeah, very warm. People very warm. Yeah, and us. We like visitors. Maybe we love foreigners visiting our country because for us it's very expensive to travel overseas. So if
Yeah,
you've
again,
seen,
it's a privilege, right?
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why if you've seen like different nationality, we're like very excited. Like what's your country like? What's the weather like in your country? And when they were here, they're very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you guys agree with this statement that Filipinos are beach snobs? Yeah, I agree. Because we know what's good.
Yeah.
We know what's good, guys.
That's
I mean,
true.
yeah, because
That's
you've
true.
seen like black sand beach, white
That's
sand
true.
beach,
Maybe, yeah.
pink sand
Yeah.
beach. We have
Yeah.
like different kinds of sands also,
Yeah.
but in general, we know what's good.
Actually, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I noticed.
I remember there's like a family. We were like doing island hopping in El Nido Islands. I think the family is from El Nido, and they were like taking a break because it's like one of their kids is celebrating their birthday, and the guests that we brought from the island, they were like, you're very lucky, it's beautiful here. And the father just like told to my like, no, it's okay, it's okay, beach, and it's just like we see it every day, Filipinos.
There's nothing. I see it every day. It's nothing.
It's
I've seen
just
it
like
for the
here.
last 25 years. I haven't gone out of my place, so this is what I see every day. So yeah.
And our guest is all like, oh, it's beautiful, it's paradise, it's slice of heaven, and the guys, hey, no, it's nothing. We go here every day, and
Well, let's talk about like sandbars.
Yeah.
I've been to sandbar in the southern part of. Oh, I'm sorry again. I'm gonna say it. Southern part of Palawan. It's called Balabac.
oh yeah,
And that place, it's underdeveloped. But that place will be, it's a must go for those who really want to get away, like from the crowds and everything.
yeah,
That is like real raw.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about thick mangroves and crocodiles swimming in the ocean.
I've seen a lot of videos for that. one.
like,
Huge crocs.
So yeah, I mean,
Huge crocs.
But I went there in the month of July, so the weather wasn't really good. But they were telling me, on a really good month, let's say like March, like they say that the water's like oil. It's
Oh really?
it's like very clear, and also because the bottom part of that area is like white sand, so it's white sand beach and it's also white sand the seafloor. So you
amazing.
would have to wear sunglasses to protect your
sunglasses,
eyes.
yeah.
It's just too bright. I would say probably in the coming years it would be accessible, but if you have the opportunity, just go
Yeah.
for it because it's an island adventure, I would say.
Oh, one thing in South as well, just to add, but this is in Mindanao. In Samal, there is
So
a
it's in
nice
Davao, yeah.
resort. It's called Pearl Farm. Stunning resort, beautiful resort. Their beach as well it's good. I've heard it's cultured, but it's beautiful.
You're kind of new in travel. No?
Yeah.
The beaches are fantastic. Do you think that's enough to attract more people to come here?
Yes. For me, that would be enough in a sense of to kind of get their attention to visit.
It's like a bait, no?
Yeah, it's like a bait
Yeah.
for the beaches. But once they get here, they would meet the people, they would taste the food, they would kind of experience the kind of hospitality that Filipinos can give.
How warm the Philippines
warm.
is. Yeah.
It's like Hotel California, no?
No, that's true.
Yeah.
The Filipinos elevate your experience in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're time to wrap up. So, guys, we've talked about beaches, and I think it doesn't like an hour is not really enough to cover the nice spots. But I think we made really special mention of Palawan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we'll do other podcasts to talk about other places. But it just so happened that since we all were in Palawan, we're able to impart a lot of useful information. But later on, we'll be inviting people who has more information to share. But there's more to come.
Yeah.
So, guys, before we wrap up, what else do you wish to tell our listeners? Invite them to come and see the beaches, not the beach, the beaches of the Philippines. Yeah.
Yes, folks, come visit Philippines. It's amazing here. We have, it just depends on your preference, but we have everything. You want raw, you go Port Barton. You want to see rock formations, El Nido. You want to go diving, go to Coron. You want to party, you go to Boracay. You want to surf, you go to Siargao, in La Union,
Baler.
in Baler as well, in Aurora. It's beautiful. It's not white sand,
Yeah, but
you know.
it's
It's
beautiful
like
also,
what
yeah.
we call the magnetite black sand
Yeah,
beach.
but it's still like nice on the feet. No?
It
Like, when
is
you stand-
nice on the
wow,
feet,
yeah.
but it gets warm.
warm. Yeah.
But if you love surfing, Baler Aurora is also beautiful. Yeah. Just visit Philippines. You know, beautiful weather, beautiful water. It's clear. It's not spoiled. I'm very proud of.
It's clean, huh?
It's clean. It's not really spoiled. You know, I'm not like mentioning other friendly neighbors from Asia. But it's just for you to see it. Come visit our beaches, and we'll happy to welcome you as well.
Aside from all of the things that Rupert shared, what else are you looking forward to?
Siargao.
Mhm.
Siargao has really been a nice. It's kind of a talk of the town, if you could say.
Yeah.
In terms of traveling here in the Philippines,
Mhm.
they fly directly to Siargao from Manila to Siargao.
Yeah.
I think they're direct flights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's kind of, and I have friends also that have went to Siargao. Then they said that you will experience the Siargao magic, wherein you won't.
The Siargao curse.
Siargao curse or
Yes,
Siargao
the
magic.
Siargao curse. Yes.
They
Why
said
is it
that
called course?
because they say you won't leave. You would miss your flights. You would stay maybe a week or 2 weeks longer.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. So, yeah, that's kind of
So
interesting.
Siargao is the place that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, sure. And
What else in your hit list?
Palawan still.
Mm-hmm.
Since Palawan is a big island, so there's a lot of parts. Balabac, I would want to visit
Yeah,
Balabac.
go for it, guys.
Yeah.
That's like
But
I know someone there. Anyway.
The crocodiles are kind of
Well,
Kind
you
of
don't
a-
really go and swim with the crocodiles.
Yeah.
So, but there's a place there where you don't really go to. But the islands
Yeah.
where you go around,
yeah.
sandbars. Yeah.
So Balabac, that's one.
Mhm.
I think there's also Taytay.
Oh yes,
I think that's-
I've heard of
That's
Taytay as
also
well.
Yeah, I've been to
very
Taytay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taytay is like, sorry to just
Yeah.
butt in, but Taytay is also one of those places that is waiting to be discovered and developed because
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say it's unfortunate, but it's just so happened that they're kind of near El Nido.
Yes.
And El Nido outshines Taytay in a way.
Yes.
So I guess if you're looking for seclusion, you go for Taytay. That's real seclusion and also like really simple life. For example, when I did an island hopping there, one of the things I was looking for was a dry bag, and
Oh,
I couldn't
really?
buy a dry bag there.
Oh,
So I had to
really?
go to their grocery or their shop. So you see, I mean, for me, the measurement of a place, if it's really developed, it's these things
They
that
have
are
everything.
readily available.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody offering, but right now nobody, none. So that's how I would say it's like raw,
Yeah.
still raw. Still
Imagine
not
that. Yeah. Taytay.
So yeah, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed our episode about beaches.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening. This is Tropik
Tropik
Banter.
Banter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.